Hello and welcome back to my F125 modded career mode. Today we're at Imola, obviously for round 4 of the championship. If you haven't seen the previous episode, I'll go highly recommend you check out so you're up to date, obviously. But a recap, obviously, Max Verstappen taking the first 2 wins of the season, and Leclerc winning last time out, obviously in Bahrain, and we actually came through for our first Formula 1 podium. A very, very hard fought battle between obviously myself, Verstappen. A lot of people, just very, very hectic, and I recommend you go check it out because it was very, very entertaining. Definitely one that I was sweating at the end of because I was not even thinking about a podium even this early on the stage, but I took advantage of it. Obviously, the issues with the car so early on is definitely an issue, but we're in the qualifying right now, going for our first lap, trying to push as much as we can through the car, through the first sector, get a little on the grass with a massive moment, and we save it through the gravel. We had a massive save. We had to basically go full lock on the car, which is not what we want. So obviously that caused a little damage on our front wings. Definitely got time to repair that from the team, which is definitely good for us. But right now we've lost one of our qualifying laps, our flying laps, obviously in the qualifying stage. Obviously we skipped through practice. Obviously don't want to do that anymore because, well, I'm doing it, but I don't want to show anymore because I don't think it's really relevant anymore. Because obviously in the background I'm always doing it. I'm always trying to develop the car, always trying to do as much as I can to help develop the car. But you don't need to see that anymore on screen. But now we're going on for a second qualifying lap. We go a little bit wide into sector 1. You see, trying to gain back the time through the qualifying stage, through this lap. I try and give all the time with our tyres as much as we can into the head. We go a little wide. We have that bit of a lock up. We can try and make it through the time now. Coming on to obviously the final stage of the lap, trying to get the final quarter perfect as much as we can. Try to deliver through the power, through the ERS on the power. Trying to come across the line now. We're coming across the line now in 16th, which isn't why I had in mind. I'm struggling a bit more with this track. It's potentially just I'm not really used to it. The car is still very unsettling in areas, and obviously I'm still making a few mistakes like I did in turn 1, so definitely it's very costly. We see now coming on to our out lap for our final run in the qualifying session, we see that Charles Leclerc is behind us. Obviously he's a little eager to actually get behind us, so we let him pass because he really wants to get ahead of us on the track position. Then he comes kind of across us a little too quickly, and then we kind of back off a bit, and then you see Verstappen coming through extremely quick, and now he's got damage because he's gone into the back of us. Hopefully there's no damage on our car, but that means Verstappen, he's got damage to his front wing, so that could be him out of the session as we're now going on to our final qualifying lap. And if you look behind us, we don't see a Red Bull. He's gone into the pits. So that leaves us with our final qualifying lap just to focus on. We use as much curb through the first sector because obviously the curbs here at Imola actually are quite flat, so you can actually try and take as much abuse to them as possible because obviously you can actually kind of go over them, not until the car as much as you can. You can go through that hairpin quite a lot easier, not locking up, making up a lot of time now. And you see we actually dropped all the way down to 16th now, so actually make a lot of time now on this lap, try and get us away up on the grid as far as possible. You see we're now coming through the chicane, we need to try and gain as much time through. I think we made a mistake on our last lap. We slingshot through, right over the curbs as much as possible again because these curbs are very much flat. So as you're coming through the final corner now, trying to plan all the power, going about over a second up on our time, coming through across right now with a DRS open and enabled and ERS help to our effect, and we're still in P16. Over a second gain on our time, we're still P16, which is very underwhelming despite I thought we might be in like potentially near the top 10, so we're a little higher up, but you see we're now stuck all the way down in 16th, which is not what we want at all, which is really just really unhappy really with the result. And you see that Albon actually finished ahead of me in P11, so there's potential in the car obviously to do better, but obviously my performance just around the circuit just really just underwhelming at all. As you see that Antonelli all the way back in 19th despite qualifying P10 on the grid due to obviously a component change. He's all the way back to the back of the grid, which is definitely really odd to change an engine component this early on, but obviously the Mercedes engine, all their components obviously weren't quicker than they thought. But obviously coming with that strategy now, we're coming on for a medium to hard strategy because I wanted to make some changes because I didn't want to go with the team strategy because I think I could be quicker, because I think starting on the medium is probably the best tire to really be on, because I think the medium's a good like all-around tire because obviously compared to the soft's going to wear so quickly, so obviously they're not even on the strategy guys even go on at all, so we're completely avoiding that tire entirely. But now we're coming to 5 red lights at round 4 at Imola for the Imola Grand Prix. There's 5 lights and we go yet again. We've got Charles Leclerc on our right and we've got Alonso just in front of us, so we use our ERS to our full effect. We've got Leclerc gets bogged down by Bortoleto ahead of him, so we've got a space coming on to our right hand side. Hopefully we try and get ahead of him. Hopefully we've got Hadjar obviously blocking that potential space for an overtake. We go the inside of Alonso, try and make a move potential on Albon, but that was definitely a bit of over an estimate of the trying to overtake our teammate that far. But you see now try to self move on Alonso and Albon. They're side by side and going through down the inside of both of them potentially if we can, because Alonso goes away around the outside. We bang wheels obviously with our teammate Albon, which is definitely not ideal as teammates. I mean, we don't want any damage on any of our cars, so that is definitely something we need to be a bit more careful about on both our sides. But now you see that Piastri is leading the Grand Prix from Russell, from Verstappen, from Sainz, from Tsunoda. And you see coming on to the final end of the first lap, obviously it's gone really quick, so not a lot's happened. Obviously single file as he comes to the grab with a massive moment. We save it. Obviously, Piastri sets the fastest lap, being in the lead. But now you see we've got Albon on our rear, and hopefully we don't bang wheels yet again like we did early in the lap. Obviously, we're side by side now. Leclerc on our right as well, so it could be 3 wide coming down the home straight, which is definitely getting really tight down there. Because obviously, into turn 1 is very tight. We try and stay in the middle. Leclerc goes all the way around the outside. There's contact a little bit between me and my teammates. Hopefully, there's not too much damage on our teammate. And now there's a yellow flag just behind us. See that Leclerc's pulling away from us. There's no. There is no teammate behind us, so where is Albon? Where is Albon gone? So now we're going to look back, obviously, to the replay on Albon's side, because obviously, you see Leclerc set up a move on both me and Albon. You see him pulling to the side, with 3 wide now coming down the straight, which is definitely really tight at Imola, because obviously Imola is not the biggest circuit. You see there's a little bit of contact on the sideband and Albon's wheel. Now he just all by himself goes off, so thankfully, there's no contact between me and Albon that actually caused that crash. And on that same lap in the same area earlier in front of us, you see that Verstappen and Russell going side by side. You see Russell goes always a beautiful move, all the way around the outside of Verstappen, set up a great move on him. You see that Sainz obviously in P4 now, as the Piastri starting to pull away from the pack ahead. So hopefully this is going to be a walkway for the McLaren duo. And you see Verstappen coming back at Russell now, taking back his P2 with that forward edge behind him. You see that Tsunoda is past Sainz now. So hopefully both the Red Bull 4 cars are going to do really well. You see that Norris all the way back battling for P6 between Ocon and Colapinto. He gets to set up past Colapinto now, which you see we're back on board of us. Obviously trying to fight against past Leclerc. We're back on the gravel. We have a wheel on the gravel. We have a massive moment. We save it, thankfully. Now we're side by side with Leclerc coming into the end of the first sector. We go still side by side with the Monegasque driver in the Italian car, and he's trying to go all the way around the outside into the hairpin now, try and keep it very tight. Is that me and Leclerc are giving no room to each other, and we try and go all up the hill now, use all the bash we can in the car as we can, try and get past him. Obviously this is a position I do not want to give up easily. Obviously that saved us, and now we're past Leclerc, going all the way around the side. We've got the position. Now a lap later, you see that George Russell and Verstappen are still not done with their battle. You see that Russell, with the help of DRS and the ERS to his effect, he's got past Verstappen yet again, as now you see behind him his teammate Tsunoda is having a look at that podium, because obviously he wants a potential podium. Obviously this is definitely his best performance of the year. And then you see we're back on board with us. We're in the back of Hulkenberg and back of Hadjar, trying to get him some moves. Hopefully in the point position we go 3 wide almost again through onto the main straight. I'm trying to go all the way around the outside of Hulkenberg now. See that move is done. You see that Hulkenberg and Hadjar are still fighting obviously that position behind us. That's going to help me pull away from him as that Hulkenberg gets ahead. You see that now Leclerc is trying to battle against Hadjar. So Hadjar's having an awful time obviously with his first sector, losing about 3 positions. You see that Leclerc goes all the way around the outside and takes the position. So Hadjar's lost a lot. You see that now Antonelli is out of the race. Is it due to mechanical or is it due to a crash? You see we're back on board with a replay of him. Obviously he's battling for 16th with Aaron Bortoleto. You see that he starts to slow down just ahead of Gasly and co, and see it's an engine issue, which is really sad, because despite he took a penalty obviously for that engine change component, it still cost him obviously that race, just 5 laps in, so anything can really happen. You see that now we're passing his stopped car obviously on track. You see now that Leclerc has got past Hulkenberg, and now he's on the back of me already, so see how inferior that Ferrari is already. So now we're back, we've got deja vu, obviously we're side by side coming through up the hill once again, and we're trying to defend against Leclerc once again, and thankfully we do. So obviously Leclerc is coming back really quick, and now you see that Tsunoda is trying to get past George Russell as he's been dropped by Verstappen. He's been pulled away. You see that Red Bull Ford car is coming to really good use in the hands of Tsunoda. He can now get past him on the podium position, and you see that now Leclerc set up a move on us. Where's he going to go? Left or right? We do not know. He's holding his cards, and now he shows, he pounces, trying to get past us. We use the help of DRS and ERS once again. We try and go late on the brakes, trying to get past Leclerc as much as we can. We can ride the curb as much as we can, but we have a bit of a moment trying to stay with Leclerc as much as we can, because obviously that car is a lot better than mine, so obviously we're not trying to overdo it to the point obviously we're crashing our car. You see now the end of that lap, he pulls out over a second of a gap, which shows him how the pace of Leclerc is pulling. And you see that Tsunoda and Russell are fighting obviously for that 3rd position. Is that all the way from where you see that Piastri is now pit, obviously switching from the mediums to the hards, and now he's been held by Carlos Sainz. So actually it's going to cost him time, obviously, his fight for the win against Verstappen potentially. But now it's our time for our pit stop on that same lot. Obviously we come in to change our tires. They're starting to feel a bit all over the place obviously in traction. You see that Hadjar obviously we were fighting with, it's coming behind us. We have a nice clean wheel change, no issues at all. When they're coming out of the pits, obviously we're fighting with Pierre Gasly, who's already had pitted the lap before, so obviously we try and keep ahead of him obviously, because any time wasted obviously is against obviously trying to get more points, because that is our goal, trying to stay ahead. But obviously staying ahead, Piastri's lost leading the Grand Prix. You see that Verstappen is now leading. We see now Tsunoda is staying ahead of Russell, trying to defend against him. But you see that vital cost of Piastri losing that time obviously to Sainz coming into the pits, holding up a bit. As now we're trying to catch the car ahead of us, which is Colapinto. We've got a bit of a gap over just under 2 seconds to try and catch, but obviously ahead of us there's still that battle between up the front between Russell and looks like Lando Norris. But now we're on the back of Colapinto. Obviously we're trying to make as much time over these hard tyres to much effect as we can. Obviously the Alpines is a lot slower than what we are, so we're already caught up with a few laps later on the back of Colapinto. Colapinto. So hopefully we try and make the move on him. I've coming on to the end of lap 11, onto lap 12 with the help of DRS, ERS, Slipstream, all effect, all three of them. And that gets a little close, trying to get alongside him. Because obviously this exit down into here, coming down on the straight, again, it gets a little tight in certain areas. So to be a little more careful. Again, we try and ride the curve and go and get past him easily, past Colapinto. But now coming on to the end of that lap as well, you see at the front again, see Verstappen's been caught by Piastri and Tsunoda. So he's lost a lot of time. Obviously, a few laps ago, he had a bit of a gap between Piastri and Tsunoda. You see now Piastri, with the effect of DRS, gets past him quite with ease. And now his teammate Tsunoda is trying to get the slipstream as well, trying to get past him, trying to fight for his first win, obviously, as he can in the Red Bull Ford. He gets past his teammate. And now Verstappen's been lost 2 positions on that straight. And that's going to cost him dearly. As you see that Lando Norris is getting past George Russell as well in the fight, obviously behind them, battling. It was on board with us. Obviously, we're trying to catch Alonso, obviously trying to gain more positions as possible as we can, trying to salvage anything from this Grand Prix. And you see a lap later, you see that Verstappen's now been attacked by Lando Norris, being dropped from his own teammate. So he's losing a lot of time now. You see that Lando's going all the way round the outside of him. So it looks like he might have a problem with this car, obviously, which is definitely unusual for Verstappen, because obviously this is not the type of performance that we usually see from Verstappen. And you see that he's lost obviously a lot of time. Obviously he must have some sort of mechanical issue with his car that he's trying to fix. But now see we're on the back of Alonso with only just a few laps to go, so hopefully trying to set up a move, try and gain as much time as we can with a little bit of a moment, a little bit of a snap. So we are overriding this car as much as we can, because obviously this car is underperforming against the Aston Martin. Now we're on the back of Alonso trying to set up a move, trying to get a good exit as much as we can. And we have a little bit of a moment into the gravel, which is going to affect our run massively down the straight. But we have the help of ERS, DRS, and Slipstream once again, as he doesn't have DRS, so we can fight against him. Obviously switch to the right hand side, and he can't do anything, and we get past him with just 2 laps to go. So hopefully we can defend up this final position as we go wide into the first few corners. That's going to compromise our run, but we stay ahead of Alonso, and then we try and get a bit of a gap on him. And the gap to Ocon is definitely too big for us to even get. But obviously going to the final lap, you see that Tsunoda's trying to defend obviously that P2, but he said that Norris has a massive moment and he saves it thankfully, but he gets back in the slip train himself for another move down into turn 1 again, and he gets it done past him, and he makes the move stick. What a save from Norris. Looks like Tsunoda might have to settle for P3 after all, despite having a great performance today. But going back on board with the replay of Norris, he has a massive save, like it's a massive, I'm not even sure, snap or what, but it was a great save from Norris. We see we're back to Verstappen, obviously onto the final lap. He's been caught by Leclerc, who we were fighting earlier on in the race, and now he's been caught, and now he's been dropped down to P6, and there's that Piastri on the end of that final lap comes across through the final corner to win the Imola Grand Prix. Norris and Yuki Tsunoda, his first podium for Red Bull Ford, and his amazing performance today at the great pace. So we come across the line from a salvageable P9, which I'm very much happy with despite the result and qualifying we had obviously earlier on. With not having the pace for the car, obviously we struggled quite through the weekend, but to come through with points at the end is definitely something I can be positive about. Again, it's not as much as I maybe wanted, but it's definitely a lot of hard work went into it. It definitely wasn't easy by any chance, but Oscar Piastri wins from Norris, from Tsunoda. It was definitely a very hectic Grand Prix, but Verstappen's struggling with engine issues. Kimi Antonelli obviously retiring due to an engine going bang, so that's obviously a lot of engine concerns maybe going on within the paddock, where you see that Verstappen is leading the table in the standings right now, ahead of Piastri just by a few points, and that McLaren ahead of Red Bull in the constructors by only 4 points. So it's very close in the team championship so far. But now we move on to a secret meeting. We had a first one obviously with Aston Martin, but now Mercedes are showing interest in me, so this could be a good chance. Obviously we run the Mercedes AMG engine in our Williams car so far. This could be a good upgrade for us to hopefully sign with them, but this is definitely something that I am definitely interested in, because obviously Mercedes being a factory team and a lot better performance of a car could be coming really handy for me. So I'm definitely going to accept that, because this is definitely something I want to try and pursue more, because obviously the Williams car has been really underperforming, like show from this Grand Prix. I want to summon that bit more potentially. You see we're 9th in the standings on the best of car comparison with the whole grid. But that has been the Imola Grand Prix. I hope you guys have enjoyed, because it's been one heck of a Grand Prix. It's been really filled with content, a lot of battles, and just a lot of just stuff I can't even get. I can never script. This game always amazes me. But thank you guys for tuning in for this round 4 of my modded career mode. Hope you guys see you in the next one. Peace.